Uh, I am good. My day today consisted of not going in the office to work and just working from home because I live in the Bay Area. And it's refreshing nowadays that people in AirMech don't know who I am, right? Um, there are times that I'm very much not chill, but that's when I'm actually enjoying AirMech. Um, Mr. Alpha. Did you get my stream through the AirMech server? Is that what it was? Uh, huh. Cool. Great. Well, if you don't know who I am a long-term... Well, I don't know, I haven't really played the game in a while. I make videos. I do casts. I have a YouTube channel. Yeah, I know, right? It's like all that people can talk about is when is it going to be up, and at some point you gotta wonder how many times you can say it without thinking, why am I still doing this? You know. And like I said in chat, which probably got pushed out of your window very very quickly because all that people are doing right now is complaining. Is that if they knew more, if they gave us some, if they could tell us more, they probably would. But as of now, they probably know so little that whatever they do know, telling us would do very little as well. You know, let's just say for some reason they knew that their provider was down and because AirMech doesn't run their own servers. They get professional, quality a company, like a provider that literally hosts servers, and they could probably be telling them their server provider could be telling them just as much as we're being told by Carbon. You never know. I have no idea. I guess, in a sense, they could tell us that, but in reality, what good will it do? Because it's not going to stop the wave of people going, is it up yet? Is it up yet? AirMech's dead. AirMech's dead. Is it up yet? What a terrible time to be... what a terrible time to be down. What a horrible, horrible, horrible time. Hi, FriskyCow. Oh no, hold on. Your sound isn't coming through. I gotta configure my... Damn it! How come this is not working? Fudge. Okay, hold on. Okay, one sec. Why isn't this working? For real? Why isn't it working? Okay, aux input out. Aux input out. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I can hear it. Wait.
Perhaps you should make sure the Discord output is going to the correct cable.
No, I think it's working now. I think I just had to reselect it for some reason. Can you say something? Test. Ha. Your test was successful. Now
the world is a wonderful place.
Now I'm gonna try to hold on. Discord. Damn. OBS overlay. I started a whole new profile for this, so now I have to redo all the scenes, and I just don't.
Interesting.
Install for OBS. I just forgot to do it. Let's see.
You're just doing OBS as a recording software rather than a stream.
What?
You're not actively streaming. You're just using OBS for recording.
I am actively streaming right now.
Why don't I see you?
It's all over the the streams and videos channel. So.
I'm gonna creep on you.
Okay. It's... see, display online count? No. Oh, chat widget. Oh, voice widget. That's what I'm looking for. Select a voice channel. Beppo's Bar and Grill. Because it's the only one that I know that's, publicly accessible. I remember going to, like, lobby or something in one of them, and then no one else could join it. I don't know why.
Beppo's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna use the outline this time. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay. Let's try that. All right. Add browser. Let's see. Discord. Oh, not Decord. Discord. Voice. Beppo. All right. Width. Was it 312? Height 600. Yeah. Cool. Okay. There we go. Where did it go? There we go. I'll put it on the left side, I guess. I just have the like the custom maps. There you go. All right. Cool. Being
I
open.
see.
Yeah. All right. We have a couple people here. Thank God. There is I'm just not doing this just completely in vain. Besides FriskyCow, obviously, we got Leia Assassin in chat.
You never know. Someone else may jump in.
I know, right? And anyone who would like to hang out in the Discord chat room, or voice channel, regardless of if you want to participate with your voice or not, you are welcome to. We are in Beppo's Bar and Grill. I would be very hesitant to set foot in that bar in real life, should that exist, but it's virtual right now. So, hello to everyone. Oh God, how do you say that, man? Dyneminus. Hello. Gabby TM. A very good player from what I remember seeing. Mr. Alpha 123 is over here, and quitting. I don't remember what your AirMech name is, but whatever. And that is a notification on my phone. I'm gonna mute or silence it now. Vibrate, put on vibrate. So Frisky, I noticed you saying, and this is in a more private chat, but I noticed you saying that it's funny when you can't play the game. Makes you, for some reason, want to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. You always want what you can't have, you know?
Pretty much.
Yeah. It's kind of sad. But that's human nature, right?
Yeah, overall, it's a fun game to play. The main problem is just that every time I try, is no matches.
Yeah.
Matchmaking.
That's true. I don't even
just hit the play button and play. I hit the play button, then I wait 30 minutes, and then I say, "Oh, now I remember."
But to be fair, you probably get on at certain times that might not be as heavy or lively.
It is true. It is true.
Yeah.
Eastern Standard Time evenings are generally not the heavy populated area.
I think it's worse for Western Standard Times evenings where I am.
Because everyone's asleep.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's asleep that you could be playing against, or at least are done for the night, like people in Europe, or even people on the East Coast, because for you, it's 9:30. For me, it's 6:30.
It is 9:30, so you've caught me on my way to bed.
Right. And by all means, don't feel obligated to continue. I just kind of felt like doing this after work. See, after work hours are different for me and you, huh?
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, does that mean you're working from home?
I am working from home in order to not catch things that are contagious.
Well, you should have know what you can do.
What's that?
Well, you can't play AirMech. So
that's
you can contemplate that, finish your census.
Finish my census. My wife is doing my census for me, so I don't.
Wow.
Yeah. She's actually actively said that, and it's funny because we got 4 envelopes, so I think we can fill in information for 4 households.
That sounds like 3 too many.
Yeah. Even more so when you consider that she has on multiple occasions told me that she's just gonna say we're a family of 7 that are fully Muslim.
You can go for it.
I mean,
it might be a felony or something though.
But how are they gonna know? They're never gonna. It'd be awesome if they came to check. Oh my god. That'd be dangerous in a family of that many of 7 times 4, 28 Muslims.
They will actually come to check.
Who is they in this case? Like people in like
the millions of people who've been mobilized to support the census
sure.
operation.
Sure, yeah. In the
They're just temps.
You know, the ones that got free census T-shirts and like a $5 food voucher for the day. Okay, yeah.
Now the really fun part is that there's no limit to how many times they're going to visit you. So after the second letter, if you still don't respond, they'll send you a third, then they'll send you a fourth, then they'll start sending people.
I think that's even more incentive not to respond. For all the potential awesome, great times that you could be having, literally expecting these people to show up at your door. Yeah.
And then if you don't respond, then they come back. And if you still don't respond, then they keep coming back. And there's no limit to how many times they'll come back. They just keep going.
This is not the IRS, Frisky. This is the census. It's taking it a little bit. I mean, Maur and Nebthet, what's up? Welcome to not playing AirMech. So
you can always pull up replays.
I could. You know what I was thinking? One thing. I was like, what the hell can we do AirMech related without even having access to AirMech? Because all I've been doing recently has been making maps, you know, and then asking people to play on them, and then watching it and figuring out what I need to change. Without the actual game, I mean, what can we do? Watch videos? Watch videos of old games? And
you know, that was one of my questions of, okay, so what exactly was your itinerary?
Right. No, I didn't have this. Hey, man, I put Impromptu on this stream title for a reason. I figured essentially click around, show people all the screenshots of maps that I took on the wiki, and field questions that 95% of them will be troll-y questions. So just for funsies. And then potentially watch some old games like championship finals games of some of the old tournaments that I had. So I don't know. That's all I came up with. Do you have any other suggestions?
Compare old gameplay to Flunge to see if you can identify Flunge.
I am quite certain. I mean, I won't say it on stream, but I am quite certain I know who Flunge was simply from the way they were talking on
I'm absolutely certain who Flunge was
right.
simply from sign-up data. But...
Oh well, that's you have that advantage. I don't. So. Flunge definitely is pro. He's super good. Such a pro.
That is strictly speculation.
Well, he's a pro, I would say. So yeah, I'm very sad because I am the first person that reported the server outage on Sunday night or so, because I was literally in the middle of making a map, and that shit crashed on me, and I was like, oh god, I really hope I hit save.
And you've never found out.
I've never found... Yeah, exactly. And here's the great thing, is you can say, you should always save. You should make it a very, you should practice saving frequently, blah, 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 right? And I agree for the most part, except for when saving takes like 3 minutes long. And in those cases, I just don't want to do it.
Is it really that long?
It depends. Sometimes it takes a long time. Sometimes it's very quick. And it's really hard for me to, like, speculate as to the reasons behind why it takes so long and why it doesn't. Like, is it because I have a large map right now? Is it because I have some scripting in it? Is it because I made a lot of changes? Is it because I made too few changes? I have no idea. I can't tell you. Lots of props. I don't know. I don't know. So, but anyway, it is very, you're kind of deterred from saving a lot just because of the length of time it takes. And yeah, I still don't know. I had an interesting concept though. Would you like to hear it without trying to, you know, I can't show anything because I can't. I freaking can't.
Okay, I'll bite. Try me.
So, you know,
picture a map, and it's got stuff on it.
Yeah,
And
there's
you have a
outposts.
base, and you can build things, and there's this outpost that's like over somewhere, and you can go to it, and yeah.
Were you spying on my computer? That's exactly what my map was like.
Let me guess. There were also some doodads, like trees, and maybe a building or two.
No, I didn't get to props yet.
Several changes of elevation, like bridges and mountains and valleys and shit.
Yeah, there were some in there. Yeah. You must have been spying on me.
I don't think you are capable of making a map without some kind of terrain elevation change.
I don't like flat maps. I just don't. I don't think it's like a waste.
Even if that flat map has trenches like Nesthorn.
Why do you hate me?
It's because you're green.
I guess so. I did not wear green on St. Patrick's Day this year, by the way. But good thing there weren't too many
right,
people
St. Patrick's Day is past now. I completely missed it.
Yeah, it was on Monday or Friday? I don't remember. Okay, let me try to describe the map that I was making. Hi, MysticLlama. So, there was a mid. You know how I try to kind of avoid making maps with a single mid, but I did. So this is my... Right. I don't like single mid fight maps. I just don't. Okay. All right. So there is an actual mid, but as in Abandoned, I tried to make it weaker, so it's on a low ground area and with kind of crappy terrain around it, where it makes it a little bit difficult to make like a nice widespread defensive line thing. So it's on a low ground, and on left and the right sides of the mid, there are impassable cliffs in kind of like opposite V formations, going away from it. So the base of the V starts on the left and the right of the map, and it spreads out. You know what? Maybe I can try to draw it on...
Do you have any screenshots? Or
I was gonna take a screenshot, and then this freaking game crashed on me, okay?
So this is gonna be like a bad game of Pictionary.
Let me just... Hold on, okay? Okay, hold on. What the hell? What kind of drawing tool can I use? Is there a Google supported drawing tool that I can use? Let me see. New...
MS Paint's pretty darn good.
Just hold on. Let's see. More Google Drawings. Ooh, Google Drawings. Ooh, what is that? I've never seen that. Oh.
You're about to.
Oh boy. Here we go.
So, okay, well, explain. Why are you against having a single middle outpost? Why are you against the map configuration by default, meaning one team is winning, rather than a permanent stalemate where neither team is ever going to be ahead?
Well, okay. I am against a single central mid map when everything converges on that mid. So there's no... For lots of maps... There's no real way around the mid. There's no... Like, 95% of all meta-level games, when they just tend to be mid-fight direct, prioritized, then, to me, that is a lack of options. And lack of options is bad for a strategy game, wouldn't you say? So,
But what about all the different ways that you can have a mid-fight? All you're doing is presenting a clear and obvious battleground, a resource to fight over, and without that, there's no conflict. And so you have a mid-fight, and all you do is structure the rest of the terrain to make it practical to use different mech and unit combinations rather than shoehorn people into just Osprey and artillery spam. Twin Peaks here.
Yeah, but that's still just one dimension of the game. The neutral battle tactical fight. It's
for that. I think I need to make a map where the only outpost is a middle outpost. And you know what? It's going to be a decent map.
Good luck to you, sir.
We'll call it the True Simple.
Ironically, with only one post, fort dropping directly becomes a major option.
That depends on how far.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, it depends on your distances, I guess.
Unless you make it like a really awful, like one lane map with like tons of rocks in the way.
I don't know.
So basically, Vale without corners. I'm not sure I can do that. And
Vale has paths around shit though.
Sort
of. This is really hard without. I don't want to draw a curve. It takes too much effort. Curved connector. What the hell is that? Nope, that's not what I wanted. Okay.
Your skills.
Can you? I've never used this app before. Okay, just calm down.
Oh well, there you go.
All right. God.
So
whoa.
The circle is.
It's an outpost. Okay, I don't know. I'm trying my best here. Okay. Son of a bitch.
So it's an outpost. It's the middle outpost.
Just 1 second. Just give me a.
And then those.
These are mountains, or something. These are mountains. These are impassable. Oh, freaking balls! This is not easy.
You know, maybe the new stipulation challenge should be: I draw something and try to match your description.
That is ultimate AirMech Pictionary right there. All right.
I think reverse AirMech Pictionary sounds like a fun game now.
That's something that you can do while the servers are down. Yes, for sure. How do I color this damn thing? Wait, hold on. Blue.
Just get a crayon and start drawing on your screen directly.
Can you please let me concentrate? Let me concentrate. Damn you. Ah, there we go. Hold on. Hold on. Where was that color? Right here. And then gray. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. And then I can copy paste. All right. And those are forts. Ah. Okay. Can you think? Well, this is too big. There's a little bit of path in between, so you can go around this mid post a little bit. It was kind of hard to make space.
Have a big middle outpost with a fort on a mountain on either side of it.
Yeah. Let me see what. This is the gist of my outpost arrangement.
So you have a very clear outpost that should be a good position to have, but it's physically impossible to push units into it with normal orders.
Which one are you talking about?
The middle.
Oh, yeah, but we don't need normal order. You mean like normal capture and stuff like that? I really don't like thinking about those orders when I'm making a map, because there's follow move, and I'm really hoping, and I'm really hoping they use that more in the future, or like improve those commands. And then this is the gist of my layout. I forget exactly what it, like that or something like that. But then like,
oh shit! There's that. Why all the extra posts in the backfield?
So
I guess because it's a square map.
Yeah, let me.
You could make it a rectangle and just put the forts on the short edge, and I think that'd actually be superior.
On the short edge?
Yeah, so like if you just squeeze out 600 pixels on the left and right hand side.
Okay.
Clip that drawing with the center third. I think that's...
But I want the forts to be close together. This is the gimmick of my map, okay?
Yeah, but like there's no reason to go towards an outpost that's directly away from both your fort and your opponent's.
Because so this is
it's a safe house.
Yeah, and also okay, black is like heavily defended. Okay?
Okay, so
and it'll be saturated-ish.
Discouraging me from caring about going to that outpost.
And it'll be saturated-ish with sockets and stuff and all that stuff. Yeah. So, all right.
Is this abandoned?
What?
Is this abandoned by any chance?
No, this is a new map that I was making, and then the servers crashed on me.
Map. Oh, rip.
New map. But the servers crashed on Sunday night. Boom. Welcome, Lost Creep. Hello. So here, let's just say that's closer. I don't know. I forget exactly what I did. I had an actual thought process when I was doing this, and then the servers crashed. Okay, I can't emphasize that enough.
Is it gonna be like the corner posts on Abandoned, where they're like
similar? I'm trying to. I've come to realize that without dependency on sockets, it's really hard to actually define an outpost as valuable other than position.
Correct.
It's very irritating.
And considering that generally sockets, I'd say most outposts that are good outposts to have on most maps, if you just took the sockets away, it's still a strong outpost.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I know.
So just having a remote outpost that's in a really objectively terrible position for you strategically, and just filling it with a shitload of sockets is not going to be a strategic option.
If it's a safe house that's difficult to initially capture, all it is going to be like a late game upkeep sink.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, if the game goes on really, really long, then you might think about maybe taking that place so that you can have even more upkeep without necessarily spamming whoppers.
Well, I guess that's what I was gonna get at, is the one that I really, really heavily defended on Abandoned was just too much. So that's kind of why I wanted.
Consider just taking Abandoned and defending that outpost less.
I did that actually. I lightened it up. I might have to lighten it up even more, but or it can be just deleted. I don't really care. It's these ideas, these concepts that I'm trying to implement are very untested, I guess. See, without enough gameplay on any specific map, you don't really have a real meta evolving, and you can't really say what.
Okay, so how about when the servers come back up, we'll have a series of 1v1s on your map.
Why would it be 1v1s? It needs to be 2v2s. Damn it, Frisky.
Well, because then you need to find 3 more people willing to play.
I'm down.
Yeah,
100%.
but it needs to be all at the same time. Well, see, here's the thing. I'm not too worried about that. I just need to make time for myself, because I am fairly sure that I can get people to play just by streaming. It's not that difficult. It's just I've not found a lot of time to do stuff like this recently.
You've got power, you've got connections. You can just kind of get people to do shit.
Right, but I have to actually do the getting. Did that make sense? Do the getting? It doesn't matter. The point is,
what you're saying is this stream is a missed opportunity.
It is. And the whole I mean, I've been working from home since Tuesday. And I swear to God, I've done some work. But I was really looking forward to doing some work and doing mostly other stuff, and also like watching streams at the same time without being shamed by my coworkers. Something like that, you know. Would have been nice. So anyway, let's go back to
How about we just go back in time, yeah, and go back before Strike was a thing. That is the peak time of AirMech, and that's the only phase I enjoyed.
See,
before Strike came out.
So I think there's a lot of pros and cons from before and after, and that's what a lot of people have a little bit of a difficulty realizing. I definitely liked actually playing before that period, because of the additions now. Playing is like kind of not as cool to me. I don't like jump and boost and all that stuff. I do like being able
Future
to.
editions did kind of make things weird.
Yeah, I mean, I really do like being able to move my units to any specific location. That's really cool. But the way they did it is like, it's like some alien came up with a way to do it, not ever playing the game before. Hey, why don't we make it? Why don't we make units follow them? Oh yeah, cool. And if they are already following them, why don't we make them click a thing on the side and then click the screen in the spot that they're gonna want to go to? I guess. You know, I don't really know why they did it like that. It's so weird.
You're a saucer main, so the fact that this is all alien to typical human beings should be pretty clear to you.
Yeah. Okay. I guess it's not.
Although more of the story is that Carbon Team is the aliens.
Probably.
Who knows?
I'd buy it.
You know, and I'm gonna sound very self-centered here, but I know a lot of people say, you know, you gotta listen to the players. You gotta listen to the players, and that type of thing, like listen to the users, is very relevant in a lot of different things. You know, not just video
Well,
games.
It's irrelevant when you have people like let's say MysticLlama just saying buff Neo and not giving any specific details on why to buff it.
Right.
Those players just
Or you have people like Insomniac who say, why don't you just add another 3,000 hit points to Turtle?
Yep.
Right. And
What even is Insomniac?
I don't know. Good question. Do I-
Somewhere in Texas?
No, he lived
Probably
in.
alive, but possibly not.
I'm pretty sure he lives in Indiana.
That changed.
I don't. All right. Anyway, so I guess in a roundabout way, I was eventually gonna say instead of listening to the players, just listen to me. But whatever, that's fine. Let's
Well, actually, we kind of had that arrangement for a little while.
kinda, not really though, because it, yeah,
The
Your
whole
council's
you know,
council.
the council era was briefly successful, where there were a lot of really good kind of unit stat changes, but as dev interaction kind of started falling off, you just end up with all these things that kind of everyone mutually agrees this needs to be changed, and it just doesn't happen.
I mean, there was a lot of good done in council. There, you know, we had a lot of understanding of why certain things. Well, that was weird. We had a lot of understanding of like why things needed to be done the way that they were being done, and what could be reasonably changed and what couldn't. So then we were able to make actual educated suggestions. But
There was that one time council removed all level locks from units. It was a fun time.
oh god, why couldn't we keep
Interesting experiment.
working on that? Like, I don't like why. Okay, yeah, removed it. Yeah, we tried it. It's okay. Let's go back now. No, let's keep working on it. Son of a bitch. All right. Anyway, let's.
Well, there was a massive player pushback with that change, especially because in most games, if you've got tank wars, Goliaths are just kind of better than Longhorn.
Yeah,
Just
but-
being able to build Goliaths just straight out the gate,
But you
there's no
can't.
progression anymore to a game.
Is there progression? in
There
general?
is basically dictated progression with these level locks. It's I don't know. Is that not?
But I'm just saying there are a lot of complaints. I think the no level lock idea is interesting and not bad, because there's a lot of soft counters just in unit compositions. If you're sitting there dumping all your starting credits into Goliath, then you can't defend your outposts.
Well, there were a lot of.
Are there soft counters?
In the sense that, yeah, if someone's going all
Kinda.
Goliath, then you spam zippers. And
Or-
then they
or
get a
something.
single Gaddy, and then it turned out, well, actually, you should have just gotten more Goliath.
It's situational though. You can't say. I mean, if you already have 75% of the map control, if you can mass up Goliaths, you win. Doesn't matter how many zippers the other guy has. I mean, you can react appropriately, and because you can reactionarily is reactionarily a word, build
Yes.
counter units, then it's not really that relevant. Like you're not like with the tech tree system, you're at least syncing your credits
Oh, you're
into
you're
one.
going to go back to tech pods again.
want to, but I wasn't going to. I was just using that as an example. But if you're going down a tech tree, for example, then you're kind of dedicating your build in a certain direction. Whereas in AirMech, you literally just have to bring all the proper counters and all the proper countermeasures, and you just got to build what you need to when you see something you need to counter. It's not the same.
So what you're saying is we should take every unit and assign it to a particular faction, and that instead of loadouts, you choose a faction that defines the subset of units that you're allowed to build that's predefined by the devs.
No. Why are these so huge? Damn it,
Besides,
Frisky.
it's too overwhelming, all the different choices of units. Just take away those choices, and you only have 4 options instead of 800.
Well, they did make a lot. I think they really did make a mistake adding so many alternates of the same type of damn thing instead of making other varieties of units with slightly different mechanics. It's really weird that there's like 40 different types of infantry. Why are there 40 different types of infantry? You know, like.
I mean, there's still new units coming to the game. There's like new grunts coming into the game. I don't know if you've seen the screenshots or not, but I can provide you with those.
Hey, link them. I will look. I don't know what you're talking about.
Are mostly derived by artists having free time.
Well,
and
there's
programmers not.
Well, they're actually inside the game files because I've been digging.
There's a lot of stuff that are in the game files that have been in the game files for several years and just never used, though.
You're referring to Grunt Uzi?
Yeah.
That was a Wastelands unit. It was a one-off. It wasn't included.
It's a Wastelands. Okay.
I'll still post the
Yeah, go ahead.
Screenshots.
And then I can I don't know where you want to put it, in the text for voice or something like that.
I'll put it in I'll put it in workshop.
Yeah, sure. Just something I can click on.
This is where I realize it's been a long time since I've ever looked at the workshop tab.
I really enjoy.
There haven't been a whole lot of updates.
I really enjoy the workshop tab because like 95% of the actual workshop items in there are like people taking screenshots of like sandboxed like megazords of I don't what other word to use, but they're like megazords of units. They're just like hilarious.
And those are entirely Smartens posts.
Like the Power Rangers or whatever, where there's just 100 different vehicles just kind of latching into each other with their powers combined.
Exactly. It's like that one Transformers Constructicons? Is that what it is? Anyway.
Yep, there's Grunt Uzi.
Oh. Yeah, I mean,
like the character from Futurama.
They had Joker. Or no, sorry. Let's start over. They had Jackal for a while. Why isn't this working? There you go. They had Jackal for a while, and then they had... What did they add? They added Joker, and then they added Ratter, and there was already Zipper and Tango that existed. Like, it's really weird that they did that. I don't really know why they would do that. So.
Also, I want to make not complaint. I just want to point something out.
You can complain if you want. We'll complain along with you.
Look at the recent screenshot as well.
Okay.
Why the fuck is yellow a thing? Unless that's supposed to be carbon.
It was what they were going to add before they added carbon, but then they decided to do carbon, I think.
Right. But I've got another idea. Instead of limiting units, whatever, so on, what we were talking about, a weekly rota where you have a select amount of units in a weekly rota that you can only use for that week. So you have to plan your loadouts, whatever, you have to plan your strategies, whatever, so on, and then after that week's done, the next week, the units in the weekly rota change.
That's fine. As
you're talking about just the raw selections that are available to put into a loadout?
Yeah, so basically there's like, for example, you have, I don't know, let's say 20 units you can pick from, right? For your 2 loadouts, or probably more than that, because you do need more than that actually for 2 loadouts. But however many units get put into a weekly rota that you can use for that week. So any other units that aren't in the weekly rota you can't use for that week.
It's effectively the same thing as banning a certain number of units for use. Whatever number you want to use.
We could do that pretty easy. Is just do any kind of series between a set of players and just have a pick and ban cycle.
Yeah, it would be super annoying. But it would work in a way. I mean, like, it's fine to do because I mean it would work and it would make things interesting. But that's what it would do. It would not fix any problems. Um,
And so, what in your mind are the problems right now, other than the servers being completely broken and there not being any players?
would you like a sarcastic answer, a trolly answer, or a serious answer?
Give me something that's in the in-between range, because I can't handle the truth right now, and along the same lines,
I
I
can
kind
only
of don't want to waste your time.
if you're gonna go in between, I can only give you one of between one of the three or two of the three: sarcastic, trolly, or serious.
Hmm.
Let me give you an example
with-
of one of each, and then you can make a choice.
Pick my poison later.
Right. So let's see what's actually wrong. Sarcastic. Oh, the freaking players are so lazy to try to figure out new strategies. It's all the players that are wrong. Okay. So trolly would be something like, what's wrong? There's only one thing that's controlling the game that is Carbon Games. So obviously, and serious. Damn it, I don't know what to pick. A lot of the things that we've been complaining about for several years that never were changed. Does that work for you?
So in-game mechanics then, and UI
sure.
and spectator bugs.
Take your
and,
pick. Yeah. Fucking
replay
maps.
instability.
I don't. Half finished everything. Tournament system,
Other
power
projects
system.
being worked on.
I'm fine with their other projects. They need to make money. It's just.
Yeah, true.
It's
just normally, like, I feel like when you complain about how everything sucks and everything's broken, they're actually like substantive complaints about the organization of the game, rather than when the typical person on, say, the Discord server complains about how everything sucks and everything sucks. The rationale is, oh well, balance sucks. You know, this one unit's too good, or this mech is too good, or the strategies are not too varied enough. Whereas, like, I feel like you and me are just more saying, no, like the game's kind of fun. It's just that everything's physically broken.
It's both, but there's more. There's more to the meta level gameplay experience than just balance. Then it depends on what you mean by broken.
I mean along the lines of just why it is so clunky to play the game, to get into a match, or why is it so difficult to create a lobby and invite people to it?
That's only about 25% of it for me. I mean, yeah, that part sucks.
And then there's the mechanical things that they added just out of a passion thing.
And there's also the mechanical things they added out of ease.
Yeah, dodge and jump mechanics, I think, are things that, you know, could have just been left out. It would have been fine. And they add more complication to the game. There's a lot of hidden mechanics as far as how units work.
Yeah.
But I think most of my complaints are largely revolving around the UI.
The lobby in game, not in match UI, in the in game UI.
Correct. As far as how to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Quickly and efficiently.
I agree. There's lots of things broken. I mean, the thing that they...
Do you have a written list somewhere? Oh wait, the forums are dead.
I did at one point, yeah. I literally had a Google.
I think everyone had several written grievance lists of pending things that, hey, why is this not fixed yet, sort of thing. And
yeah,
now my memory is failing me.
Well, I mean, the one biggest complaint
my
for
ability
me...
to care is just diminishing on an annual basis.
Yeah, it
continues to go without any support.
There are a lot of things that I've forgotten. Yes, definitely, yeah. But the one biggest complaint that I have about Carbon itself is that they seem to start things and go 75% of the way and then stop and then go on to a different thing without actually finishing it. Biggest complaint being tournament system. So
the in-game tournament system.
Yeah, it was so promising. Everyone was so excited.
That was kind of cool for a little bit, and then it just kind of dropped off. It was like 2 weeks of development, hardcore.
Yep.
What's the tech pod, by the way?
Oh,
Didn't work.
God.
So there is a period of time where, let's say you want to build a Goliath.
Yeah.
Instead of putting a level lock on it, you would try to build a Goliath, and instead of building a Goliath, it would build a very expensive installment pod that you have to put on a socket. That's going to unlock that technology of getting Goliath. So it was basically.
Did you need to put it on a socket? I'm pretty sure you could just put it anywhere.
Yeah, a socket.
If you didn't put it on a socket, then breathing wrong would make it explode.
From what I remember,
putting it on
changed.
a socket gave it basically infinite armor.
No,
what I remember, people would just put it in like the bowels of the map, so it wouldn't get harassed.
Your descriptions,
because if
Frisky,
you lose your tech pod, you have to build it again.
Your descriptions are full of bias, and they disgust me.
RUI really, really loved the tech pod system.
I love the
General
concept
sentiment
and the
fucking
idea
sucked.
of tech pods. Their implementation was garbage. I didn't say I've never said it wasn't, but it could be
Okay.
used. You know.
Let me try again then. Tech pods are a way to instead of just having immediate access to all your units, and instead of having a level lock system, you change how you unlock units, that you invest money into a tech pod to unlock that particular unit in your loadout. And then the tech pod is just the physical thing you drop on the map that represents you're unlocking that technology. And it is possible for that thing to be harassed. So if someone's like building a lot of Goliaths or something, you could go find and snipe that tech pod and basically put them behind 30 to 40 seconds while they have to re-get to that tech.
Thank you.
And it allows you more strategies, especially in the harassment area.
That was much less.
And they fucking sucked.
First time I'd ever seen people in here.
Hi.
The first time, really, truly?
Yes, I've never seen anybody in here before.
Oh,
Well, say hi to the very
bar grill.
small stream that we're streaming. No?
Hello,
No,
RUI stream.
Okay.
My name's Love Scream. I'm a badass in AirMech, but I can't do that right now because the servers are down. Thanks.
Amen, rocket.
Also, when was Reindeer a unit?
Reindeer is not a unit. What?
Reindeer is a Wastelands unit. It's
Do you wanna-
something you can buy in like a Christmas
Oh,
time.
right.
They open a
What
shop
the
near.
I know very
Santa,
little about
shop,
Wastelands.
whatever.
Let me guess, its usability. You can ride it.
No. What? How would
It's
your mech?
basically a probe equivalent.
Uh,
I know
You
it's
can ride
a-
anything if you try hard enough.
It's an FF2K.
I don't think
equivalent.
that's accurate, but
Oh,
alright.
right, okay.
So,
Joke unit that somehow became good.
Wait, what unit?
Reindeer.
FF2000, the Fruit Fucker 2000.
okay.
It runs up to people and humps them, and somehow it does a lot of melee damage.
What?
It did very specific damage. Very specific.
It also had a
things.
very specific animation.
It did.
Oh,
It's a reference to a Penny Arcade strip.
Strip.
Can we
half of
just
that
get
was Russian to me, so yeah.
Penny Arcade's a webcomic.
Just stop.
Okay.
They
Just stop. It's
Yeah,
It's
I'm
fine.
never gonna understand this. Just
doesn't
yeah.
matter. Doesn't matter.
God damn you people.
All right.
Oh, shit.
So let's
They're the folks who made packs.
all right. Let's switch topics. Let's just look at some custom maps. Yeah. I
Yeah,
like-
how are we supposed to do
Everything
that?
by Shadow sucks.
I
Well,
Oh.
took screenshots
Where's
of
Shadow
all
here?
the viable
How
ones.
dare you eat mine?
well.
Okay.
I am very confused.
Tag me when
right
the
now.
servers are back up. I'm going to bed.
All right. Bye, Frisky.
Moo.
I'll miss you. All right. Well, let's look at Misty Isle by Overkill. I really like the idea behind the map. I got Pro to try it a few times. Oh, I might be able to find that Let's see if I can restream pro streams. Is that like against Twitch policy? No idea. Stop.
The low ground on that map is kind of funky.
Funky in what sense? In a buggy sense or in a gameplay sense?
In a gameplay sense, because it's kind of hard to defend against.
The low ground. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to find the
There's a segment that reaches like a lower segment near the fortress that is difficult to defend using the forward outposts.
Are you looking at my stream right now?
Yes.
Is my magnifying glass close to it?
No.
Up, down, left, or right?
Where those concentric rings are located is
Oh,
where
right
the
here.
ground kind of is.
Okay. Yeah, let me see if I can find. Nope, there's no way. He streams so much, and I don't remember which days he did it, so no way I'm gonna find that.
I mean, I remember my game, like, from ages ago. I think I started on YouTube, to be fair.
On
I
this,
think you streamed it.
on
Actually,
this
yeah,
map?
You did. No, not on that map, but it was Chasm. Wait, no, was it? I think it was Chasm or Crater.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Just the game that you
Yeah.
played that I cast.
Yeah.
Let's
I have
see.
it in my like videos.
I've definitely played on this map with Overkill before. And I've tested some kind of ridiculous strategies that ended up kind of working, but whatever.
Right. Yeah. But I literally just looked at a lot of the people who had PvP maps and took screenshots, and I liked the outpost layout, I guess, because mid is so well,
Oh, damn.
it's kind of approachable from this forward outpost more, and this one a little bit less. The distance is a little bit further, but I just like the fact that you could literally post to post battle around mid without even with mid never getting any
Those
attention.
side posts are pretty thick with neutrals, so it's a little difficult to do that.
I don't. Did you watch any of the games on Pro's stream? Freaking Red Dog cleared it fast. I couldn't see how, because it was focused on Pro's screen.
Well, it is out of the way, so you can kind of do it like offhand with some long
So,
or buckies or something.
I mean, no, he did it. He did it directly. They split up. Like his teammate went. I think so. They were on red side. His teammate went down, and he went up, and he cleared it very fast. And the thing about heavily defended outposts is that it's only a challenge when the map is new to you. When the
That's fair, yeah.
when the meta approach, for the lack of a better term, has been developed on any map, your ability to clear is gonna the speed that you can do that for any outpost is gonna go up way, like it's gonna be way faster than the first few times that you ever tried. Twin Peaks, for example, like, do you know how hard that is to approach without realizing you can just go to the back, clear it, take your posts, and then just start surrounding and protecting? It's very easy after you know that. So a lot of these outposts, there will be strategies developed very easily, I would think. And that's what I try to think about when I want to have something defended on an outpost. I try to lay out neutrals in a different way as much as possible, just not necessarily with any specific intent, but if it's different, then it might create different approaches. But the problem is the amount of play that custom maps get. It's pretty much zero, because they're so hard to access. Yeah. But anyway, if anyone's watching this and you know how to access custom maps, go to custom maps, an AirMech wiki page that I created recently. And if you click on this spreadsheet that Overkill made and that I improved dramatically, this will list God, how do I put it? Author slots by number. Author slots. I don't know. And there was one that was, I know one got stuck in at the top. I just don't know who it was, and I can't check because the servers are down. You can see where all these are. These color codes will mean more later when I can get the actual list of maps. But this is the only one that I knew, my list of maps, and they're all PvP maps. That's why they're all highlighted red. I don't think that's how Overkill intended to do this, but it is now. What the hell was that? Alright, if that kid does that again, he'll not be in this freaking channel anymore. So yeah, you can find maps, and I'm gonna do my best to try to list them when the servers are back up, and categorize them using this color code. And you just gotta right click on the number or the map slot in that number. See, it's just so confusing. I was gonna make a video how to access and play on custom maps or something, but then the servers crashed and I couldn't make it. So there's a lot of things that lead to these servers crash. So anyway, so custom maps, and then I literally just listed like basically everything that was in that old forum post, and then a couple extra ones, I guess. A few added by Hawk. Hawk had a couple. Let's go to the next map. This one is Dry Ride. No, sorry. This is Rifted Haven by Overkill again. Let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger. There you go.
That map is a clusterfuck of neutrals.
Yeah, it's a little bit much. I like the concept. The town at the top is an interesting concept.
Yeah, I kind of like the town, but it's really snug. You can't really do much there.
That's one thing. And the whole outpost, I mean, from the game or two that I saw played on it, this outpost that's lower than the buildings, it's really weird well, it was really weird to watch. I would imagine it's really weird to play. Every door is literally inaccessible from the adjacent doors. You have to go like all the way around or ferry and drop. So very strange. But I like it. He probably put a lot of effort into scripting the town, all the units moving back and forth. Other than that, and I guess it is the most direct access from fort to fort. But then I don't know how these barriers work. That's the problem. I don't know how a lot of this stuff works because it doesn't get a lot of play. So that makes me sad. Okay, next map. This is an older one made by Ultimate Ducky, I think. Well, let me see. Which one was this?
Ducky made a lot of interesting maps that don't get any attention.
He did.
Yeah, I know.
No. There you go. This is Ohana AM. He said, I remember from his forum post, and I still remember this, that he based it off of a StarCraft map. I guess that was called Ohana. And he just made an AirMech version of it. Yeah, I don't know how it would play. Hard to tell. Obviously, it would need fixing now because of the whole neutral bug thing, but and then probably, and he did 0 neutrals on the sides. It was just mid, because the standard back then was to have only the middle outpost neutral, and all the rest of the outposts would start under each respective side's control, which is kind of strange.
Really spacious, so I'd expect a lot of movement on the map.
Yeah, I would assume that this would be one of those maps that people complain about light unit spam, follow light unit spam, and it would probably be pretty effective just looking at it, but
Question is, will forums ever be returning?
probably not.
That's the question.
Probably not.
They said they would be, but probably not.
Yeah, they said
Fair
they would be,
enough.
and it's been this long, so yeah.
I miss my memes forum.
I know.
Yeah, I know, right? That's like.
Well, you
s-
know
own it.
about the offline forums thing. Overkill listed or linked that.
Everything in water cooler is dead because you can't access that.
Oh,
without an
that's
account.
true. Yeah. I mean, I have all of the memes saved on my hard drive up to a certain point.
Hella.
I can share that. I just need to do it, I guess. There's probably a Google Drive folder somewhere. I just don't remember off the top of my head where it is. Anyway, this is a cool map. Would like to see games on it. Yeah. This one I've never seen.
I'm honestly convinced that light unit spam is exclusively an Osprey problem, but whatever.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of it to understand it better.
Because in all honesty, it only fails because Osprey can just get rid of mines at whim. Like a single mine and one giant clump of light units is just gone.
To me, that's pointing out another problem. To me, that's just pointing out the fact that you need mines. And I kind of don't like that either. I don't like mines. Mines are not.
I mean, when you reach a critical mass of any unit, I mean, there's nothing really much you can do except mines.
I don't think that's true.
You can use bomber, but obviously not everyone uses bomber.
There's a lot that you can do. I mean, it depends on what you mean by critical mass. So I would think there's one or two, at least two definitions of that for AirMech, but I would say it's also very map dependent. What happens if you reach a critical mass on Nesthorn? Not much. I think my headset's dying. One sec. Damn it. Alright. Now I'm tethered.
I'm surprised we haven't replaced Nesthorn with the Ducky's rendition of it.
I don't think the word you're looking for is surprised. I think you're looking for disappointed.
Sure.
I'm not surprised about anything that happens in AirMech anymore. I would be more surprised if it did happen. Anyway, this is Snowfield by Shadow Ultima.
The proximity of the outposts on the forwards makes me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're very close. You can literally remove one, though. And it would make things a lot better. But then it looks just a little boring. And it's very flat. It's very, very flat. And because of these rifts here, these holes, it makes the map very mid-centric. He lined the bottoms with that looks like T99s or hats. Can't really tell.
A lot of Shadow's maps are very mid-centric, and that's why I don't like them.
Yeah. I do like how it's nice and spaced out, though. And it's, besides the two forwards, the post-to-post distances are interesting. Let's go to the next one. Which the hell one is that? Labyrinth by Hawk. Hard to really say what the eventual meta approach would be.
Those deep chasms look like a nightmare to fly around.
Yeah. And you can't fly through these green elevated.
Lots of chokes around those side posts.
I mean, undoubtedly, given enough play, the meta level approach would be very heavy mine focused, I would think. But then Osprey, so. And straight down the middle is very. It caters very well to the Osprey player. Not that that's a bad thing, but
There aren't really side routes unless you go through the territory controlled by the side outposts.
Yeah. Well, these little flyovers are very interesting. I really liked that addition. And the one thing that I noticed on this map is that a lot of the players that played felt like they had a lot of options. When you look at the map, it doesn't really look too much different than a standard AirMech map with a mid and a couple of extra side outposts. It's kind of a rearranged crater. But I think the reason it feels like there's a lot of options is because these barriers...
It's new?
No, not... Well, yes and no. That's another thing. But, so, these barriers, what they do is they is they kind of create artificial distance, since you have to fly all the way around them. So response times are going to be dramatically extended. And when I say dramatically, I really feel like it gets dramatically extended. I mean, even though it's just the time it takes to fly around, factoring in unit ferrying, pushing the inability to ferry over, it's a pretty big thing, I would say. So it allows approaches with less, not necessarily less risk, but with a higher chance of success due to the lower effectiveness of a fast response, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a cool concept. I really like it. That's why I'm going with my weird splitty barrier map. See how that goes. The next one is another hawk map. Actually, the remainder that I have open are hawk maps. Let me close the rest because I'm getting very confused with all these tabs that it's hard to tell which one I have currently selected. This is, I think, called Swamp Hideout, which I haven't really seen many games on. I might have seen one. And it definitely has the neutral bug because mid is blue, but that can be fixed since Hawk is active, and this might be off of Map Publisher. It's very
again, not great with side routes, but it's
yeah.
okay, I think.
It's very laney, and not in the way that there's too many transitions which slow your approach a lot. Like if you're gonna go from this post here in the bottom left to mid, you have to go up, or sorry, well, yeah, up, and then up a ramp, and then back down. So it's a lot of transitions, and transitions slow down, well, tanks, I guess, and other units as well, but tanks feel it the most.
Oh dear. I just rewatched like one of my replays where you were commentating IOI.
Yeah.
And I was playing against Give Me Kill and I just got fucking stomped.
Good for you. But did you learn?
Tournament bracket.
It was a tournament bracket.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay.
For something. I don't know exactly what tournament it was, but
how long have you been playing?
It was one tournament.
I forget.
2 years.
2 years, okay. Right before Strike came out.
Yeah, then I stopped playing before, well, literally after Strike came out.
Okay.
Because I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you... Wait, hold on.
I'll still come back on, though. What?
Sorry, I'm just looking at his map right now. My bad. How did he make these? He must have overlapped tiles. This right here. How do you do that? You have to overlap tiles. How the hell did he do that? Yeah. I guess only map makers would understand why I'm baffled right now, but like a tile for this transition doesn't really exist. It's three transitions. 1, 2, 3. And then I guess there's sort of a fourth joint right here. I'm very confused. Anyway, I'll have to open it up one day and see what he did. But I say one day.
I think it's been longer than that, actually. It hasn't been 2 years. It's been longer. How long has AirMech been out for?
Since 2012.
What do you mean by out?
Well, alive.
When was the first game that I've cast on your channel, or on my channel, of you? Was it a tournament game?
There were many. Hold on. There were many.
Oh yeah.
There's so many clips.
There's 5.
There's like 3v3s, 2v2, yeah.
There's 5. I'm just searching my channel.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh shit. Yeah.
That's fine. Everyone does that. I literally have a screenshot of me beating Happy Death 1v3 when he first started playing. So.
I remember when I don't know who it was. I was playing Himco, but I was playing him for diamonds on someone's stream. I think it was Dissonance, or it might have been yours actually.
Okay.
and I whooped him
Oh.
on Twin Peaks with. I actually forgot what it was with because I don't think no one has like this replay saved.
Then it wasn't mine. I have all of my games on my YouTube channel.
Might have been on Dissonance.
Probably. It sounds more of a dissonant thing.
Well, I don't know. Could have been a Happy Death to be fair, because it wasn't. Oh, I don't know.
Happy Death doesn't really do stuff like that. He just plays.
True.
So maybe pros, but even then. So Llama, have you seen Divided Valley by Hawk?
I have looked through all the maps on the on that wiki page, and I just kind of made comments to myself. This one looks kind of weird with that 2 mid structure going on.
Yeah,
seems like it would lend well to a lot of artillery wars.
I feel like the 2 mids are too close together. Like if the forts and the mids could be brought out a little bit more, which would take a lot of re-terraforming, I guess. It would be a lot of effort, but I think it would serve better. Yeah, a lot of Hawk maps tend to be more God, I don't know how to put this. It's like the way you play on them is very traditional AirMech, I guess.
Yes.
So, and making maps, I try to do my best to go away from that. It's very hard though. It's not like a straightforward thing to do, but yeah.
I feel like there's some inspiration from like a Herzog map
on this one
here. Yeah, that central like chasm.
Okay, I could not tell you, but okay. Didn't really play Herzog, but yeah.
No, I didn't either. I just looked into it.
I've only played Herzog with Tipsy, who's forced us to play it on an emulator. It was not enjoyable. I'm gonna say that. I just wanted to go back to AirMech.
Clunky.
It's very, very clunky, yes. Here's the last one. I think this one was called Mountain something. Hold on, let me see. What was this one? Hawk. But I will say, even though Hawk's maps are mountain based, even though Hawk's maps feel like they are more traditional AirMech in terms of gameplay, I feel like they're, for the most part, better than traditional AirMech on the current set of official maps. I mean, that's not a stretch, I think. For the most part, it's not blankety, but
I honestly wouldn't consider Biohazard that much better to play on than Nestorm, to be honest.
I mean, some people love it though. It's so weird. I don't really know why. This map is very obvious in concept. It's just it's like a big branchy map. It's very flat.
I've
very
played
flat.
on that.
Very flat. Oh yeah? Did you like it?
Yeah, I played with Happy Death. Pro. I loved it because no matter what, if you fucked up one way, you can still go the other way. Or any other way. You have so many options.
There aren't many flanking routes, but there are a lot of posts that might make up for that. You can just pick a post to push to.
Yeah, there's 7.
See what happens.
So, and that's pretty cool. I mean, like, if you look at, God, what's the one that has, this one, Split. A little bit, no, that's very similar. Same number of posts.
Very old school AirMech aesthetic to it.
Yeah, very old duel. Let's see. Yeah, those are very similar. Yeah, that's roughly it. I really liked Fire before because it had some weird paths. But then when you look at it a little bit more, you realize if you can ferry, if you're a ferry mech, it's pretty powerful. You don't have to rely on units going from.
I remember this map being very choky when I played on it.
It is very choky, yeah. But the way you approach is very strange. Like, let's just say you're green on the left and you go for this bottom forward. And I don't know, you go for this post, the enemy goes for the top post, and you have your map split. And then you start fighting back and forth, but you could also choose to just go straight to their forward. It's interesting.
Do the elevators push up credit boxes?
I think they do now. I remember him having a hard time getting that to work because he was kind of like the first person that was trying to make that work, and Insane had to like figure out some kind of workaround before. But I think it does now. I think it does. So I'm still not sure how to feel about credit box spawns.
Yeah, I personally don't like them that much.
I think they could be better though. Like you can still keep it as God. I've had a couple ideas and I'm kind of blanking on it, but it's more about area control, I guess. The biggest problem with area control is with a box spawn, you can just grab and go, and you don't actually need the area control. So I forget what concept I was working on, God, but it's all in my brain. Anyway, so those are those maps. Have you any feedback on the maps that I've made, sir?
I kind of like your maps, to be honest.
I try to make them different. I realize Abandon is so direct. I remember Tanji saying Abandon is not complicated. It's very straightforward. Pick a lane, commit, and push as hard as you can. And it's very true. And it made me think twice about trying to make these multi-option open maps because you can inadvertently build in these, I don't know how else to call it, so I'll just call it an exploit for now. But like these like exploitable approaches that sort of make the rest of the intention of the map kind of moot. Like there's no more, like, you know, you kind of design a map and say, oh, I want this post to be early game, and I want this post here to be easily accessible from here, so you can fight the mid fight from here, blah blah blah. And then when you get real high skill players to actually play the map, they're like approach it in a completely different way that's way more direct and is not what you wanted in your map. So it's kind of sad.
I will say on Abandon that a direct push to forward is kind of annoying, but it is also very annoying to be harassed by the forward. If someone gets it, they could just spam you with artillery. It's kind of difficult to do something about it.
What do you mean by the forward? The one that's on the high ground?
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at those distances. I felt like it might be best served to pull the fort back a little bit to create a little bit more distance. But I don't know. I was kind of lazy and I kind of wanted to move on. It's a lot of time and effort that you put into these stupid maps when you make them, especially if you want to try to make them aesthetically like not boring. It's a lot of extra effort. So this is the one that I just recently made, Canopy. I literally redid the whole damn thing because when they were playing on it before, when they took the set, let's see if I can find an old screenshot. I can find one. And I can sort of side by side them, but let me see if I can figure that out. Maps. I have a screenshot on my computer. There we go. Oh god. Let's unfull screen that. And let's do this. Let's do this. Let's try to fit it. Oh, freaking. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out eventually. And here's the new one. Blah. Alright. So, I don't know if this will... Okay, that's good enough, I guess. So you can see half the map. That's important. So, the old one is here on top the top left, top right. This bottom middle was so powerful because of how high it was and how easy it was to just drop on this forward here, or this close, whatever the hell you want to call it. This became irrelevant, basically. Even though this was very heavily defended, they kind of eventually figured out, quickly actually, figured out that, hey, just take this as fast as you possibly can. I don't know if they took this one when they were doing that, but it wouldn't be that hard because it was only defended by like jackals or something, or jokers. So what I did was I literally flipped the high ground and the low ground, and I lowered these, put the bridges on opposite sides, or in opposite directions, and this being a low ground, and I created a little bit more distance between this, the forward post, and the close post, and in the mid, the bottom mid. I'm hoping that makes this a lot weaker, and I defended it slightly differently. And I put a lunchbox here. I think I'm going to take that off because it takes just way too freaking long to take it.
I'm not sure I agree with the tree line blocking the top route there.
Yeah, why not? I like...
Yeah, it just cuts off options.
It's not blocking off. You can hide units in there.
Oh, you can move through it?
Yeah, you can move through it. That's why I use those. So there's like a group prop that has a bunch of trees, but it just does not play well with what I wanted. Like it created this weird nav mesh above it, and even though I set it to no collision, resaved it and all that stuff, it would not do that. So I had to use individual trees that don't collide, that don't have any. You just basically clip through them, so you can actually hide units there. I do want to put a few more neutrals on the lane at the top though, from top to fort, like I don't know, a couple Gemini or something, a la Vale. But yeah, that's what I came up with. And the problem is you need to have games played on it. Like, I can't freaking predict how easy or difficult it will be to clear posts. It's just way too much to just, like, I don't know, place artillery to figure out the best distances. I'm just not going to do that. It's just way too much. I needed to move on to the next map, because just making the map to begin with is a lot of time and effort. So I just need to see more games on the maps that I make, because I am willing to improve them, unlike a lot of other people that are making maps. And Carbon. so yeah. If things are too easy to do, I want to make them better. If they're too hard, I want to make them easier, etc., etc. That's the only way we're gonna have better maps. So many ways we can improve crap like Nesthorn. This is a weird map that I made, but and then they noticed that it says 69 in the middle. Didn't intend on that, but whatever.
Oh yeah, I remember you making this one on stream.
Yeah. But the idea was to make like a Vale that was smaller, like use Vale's rough layout, but make it a little bit smaller and less distanced. So 3 posts on each side, basically a gap in the middle, one on low ground here, one on high ground here, and then So I haven't really seen any games on this. I think I saw one, but it was just kind of meh. I think the distances are good. I think the accessibility is good. The fact that I used the stupid mountain tile set was probably a mistake, but whatever. Didn't put much effort into the cosmetics on this, which is why it looks like a boring map, like really, really boring. But it took a long time to figure out how to make these low grounds. Let me tell you. The map editor.
Of them now.
I'm sorry?
You're using the hell out of them now.
Yeah. Well, with Canopy, I just use trees to block a lot of like this right here. This is 2 transition. There's no transition from this to this in the tile set, so I had to just block a bunch of open stuff. And then in the older version of the map, I had to do that a lot, and I used a lot of weird low ground. But yeah, so I'm really hoping to see more games on this map, because I really like the spacing. I really like the lanes. And actually, I think the fact that there was only a 1 wide tile for a ramp, 1 tile wide ramp on this tile set, I think that kind of works for the map in a sense, because some of these are really direct, like really, really direct. And if it was too open, I think it would just be too easy to abuse light unit spam. God, I don't really know how to address the whole light unit spam thing. That's another mystery. That's another problem. But anyway, I don't know why follow is a thing. And this is the last map that I probably consider playable that I've made, Sand Trap. There are balloons that spawn in the middle. Every minute, I think. No, sorry. No, yeah, I think every minute I have 4 balloons spawn, except every other minute I have 2 lockboxes spawn. Which my goal was to make like an area that would be beneficial to control. If you put your own AA there, the balloons would die very fast if they were just directly under.
That.
I'm sorry?
I was thinking that, yeah, if you just put AA there.
Right. So
the boxes.
And if you control it, if you control the area, you have a decent amount of AA. You don't even need a lot, maybe 2, right? And they'd kill the balloons after 5, 6, 10 seconds, whatever. And then, I don't know, enough tanks to deter direct mech harass. It's a very powerful avenue. I wanted it to be thin because I didn't want it to be too easy to zip units through. This is just so, straight through the middle. And 2 forts here and here is just too direct. But I needed some way to prevent easy flyovers from fort to fort. So fort drops weren't so easy, so using air units wasn't so easy. So that's why I have balloon spawning, basically. Also, it's just fun to have balloons trail you and then make them run into people. Sure. I'm a little bit... I am concerned about the distance from the closest post to the fort, because if an enemy somehow nabs that, it's just so damn close. But I think I'm okay with it, because I don't really see that happening too often, and if it does, you might as well lose it already. If you already lost that post, like, how'd you let that happen? Like, the enemy can neutralize it. The enemy could even clear it to a degree. But to control it, why did you let that happen? I don't know. That's just, it's like you're...
That post is on a high ground, so...
Yeah. This little snaky path here, I was hoping to have a way to... You could just ferry over, and then you'd have direct fort access from that. It's a very strange little path, but you could push units either from down here and station them up here, move and go. You could skip posts, or push them from your fort or this high ground post, go to this the edge of this lane here, and then push to fort from there. I don't know. I try to think of as many of those types of things as possible. So, anyway, I don't know who the hell is still here.
Me and
All of us.
No, I mean, I know that you're in the in the voice chat. But who the hell is still watching? Not too many, but that's fine. It's not the,
I believe Overkill was here as well.
Overkill says hi from stream chat.
Yeah, I finally am looking at stream chat. Overkill, if you're still watching, what I want to say to you about your maps is I think if you try to make more normal maps, for lack of a better term, normal, you could make really, really good maps. But seems that you spend a lot of your time making weird stuff, which is fine. But just like Misty Isle was a great concept. That kind of thing just needs playtesting and refining, just like every other map. If anyone thinks that they can come up with a map that is great first time out, then you're dumb. Maps need to be tested. They need to be improved. And the problem is I'm not really sure how to put this. So when maps get played a lot, I guess the best strategies start to come out. And then that's when people kind of start complaining about why the map is bad, because eventually you come to the realization that there's only one way to play a map, or 2 ways, whatever. However, there's very limited set of ways to play a map. It's no options, blah blah. Everyone loved Biohazard and Storm, and now everybody hates Storm. Biohazard's kind of a 50-50 from what I've seen. It's not really my favorite, obviously. It's very mid-centric. It's freaking islands on the corners.
Single lane.
Yeah, single lane. Like, a lot could be gained from Biohazard if instead of all that empty low grounds, or that empty, nothingness, the void space, if it was all just low ground, or like parts of it were low ground, so you could have alternate push paths and then some ramps down here and there. That type of thing is pretty big, I think, in this game. So that's the thing. Like, you need to have these maps tested, and then you have to have someone consciously putting in effort to figuring out what needs to be changed for the betterment of the gameplay. I don't know. There's so many suggestions that everyone had about Duel and S-Thorn, especially Chasm. I tried to make the Duel mid Chasm. That didn't turn out so well from what I've been told. I didn't really see too many games on it, but I don't see how it could possibly be an ounce worse than the old Chasm. I scooted the outposts closer. I made the lane ramps wider. I took out a lot of the trees because that was really hard to work with. Maybe that mid lane is a little bit too populated with neutrals, but whatever. And it's probably time for me to go eat, but hey, all the windmills are still there. I forgot about that. So yeah. Looks boring. Gotta add more trees.
All the trees.
Just for the hell of it, let's look at this map that I made. There's too many outposts, is what a lot of people say. I disagree. I just think it's too big. And that is, what I'm going to say, a fault of the limited tiles in the map editor. But, I really like...
Going off of the too many outposts thing, there's a bit of an outpost proximity problem going on, I think.
Kind of. I mean, actually, I don't know if that's necessarily true. Probably on the bottom. And then definitely on the top. But I think when I was making this, I kind of intended the top to be more of a direct fight warfare type of setting. So I think, and this is like 2 years ago, I think I intended that. 100% on that. And then I put these neutral vault boxes here to block the path temporarily. Can use turtles now, but you know. But my goal for the map was to kind of split the map between having a top set of fighting and a bottom set of fighting, and going into the map, you never know which type of game you were gonna play because is your opponent gonna go for the bottom, or are they gonna try to do a direct to the top? I don't know. That was the goal. It's too damn big for that. It was never a map that I intended all the outposts to be taken. Not even like most of them to be taken. I was thinking like half of the posts would be like a standard game, and then like most of them would be like a late game type of game. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I was hoping to make a map that would be like a bigger version of Twin Peaks. That's kind of what this is, honestly. Yes. Overkill. Multiple paths are not a thing. Let's see. Which map has the most paths in the default map set? Let's see.
In default maps.
Well, default's a weird way to put it, but yeah, the son of a. In the official maps.
Crater isn't bad.
Crater has a lot of paths, yeah. Vale, I don't really want to count Vale because that's a weird situation there. Sandrim, not really. Looks like it could potentially be a lot. But actually,
Sandrim doesn't have a lot.
but actually, Sandrim has about the same number of paths as Chasm. When you think about it, a little bit more, but no one really uses the bridges the way that I guess the initial
Honestly,
design.
if you just remove the neutrals on the bridges in Chasm.
You couldn't. I guess you could. I don't like having completely open paths like that. I think there should be a little bit of like something to clear, regardless of if it's trivial. But yeah, that could happen. Salt is weird. I like the layout of Salt, but the freaking lanes are ridiculous.
Salt is effectively 2 paths because of the neutrals in the center make it too difficult to hold.
Yeah, I know.
Personally.
So I guess Salt is a great example of, I think, good layout, not great, but good layout, but bad implementation of paths and neutral placement or neutral allocation. It could be way better if it was redone a little bit. Like to go from, let's see, does this have a good, I don't know if this has a good, you stupid. All right. I don't know if this has a good shot of the actual map. Nope, of course not. I'd be better off looking at a video. God, come on. Oh, that's so depressing. Let me try to find a Salt game. What's the most recent Salt game on my channel? Right here. This is a recent-ish one. I don't care if it's the most recent. It's the one that I found. Alright, let's mute it because that's weird to have me listen to me.
But your voice is so succulent.
Okay.
Oh, Carlos Diaz.
Alright, let's see. No, you know what? Actually, the initial overview of the map is probably what we want to look at. There we go. That's pretty decent. So, like, to get from here to, like, to get from the mid to the next, so, like, these posts, like, the cleanest path is actually around this way. Because you have to go down here, under the bridge, take a hard turn, and go up a ramp. And they're all, I think they're all 1 wide, because this is Boreal. So, the only 2 wide ramps are on,
Yeah, the default path the units take is actually down through there. So.
Yeah. So you have to path them up in 2 steps, which is a little crazy. And like some of these ramps don't make any sense when you and not that they didn't make sense when they made the map, but they don't make sense now that you know how the map is played, which is why it would be really great if maps got improved actively. But like for example, the ramp from the low ground on the top side to the high ground, I guess, the next elevation.
Really don't do much.
They get used, but does it matter? Not really. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's so choky. It's very choky, which is fine, but it's too much. You should build in choke points to some maps. You should have some open points. It needs to be a nice mix. Yeah. Let's see, let me just hit play here. Yeah, I was trying to think of ideas of what can we do when we can't play AirMech. What AirMech thing can we do? And the only thing I could really think of was just talk about it or just like watch old games and like analyze them. I don't know.
Revive counts one, have them talk about something.
A lot of good that did back then. So,
Hey, let's get a new council.
how would we know who was a
Sounds like a
valuable
plan.
contributor without forums? Like off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone that was roughly the same level of like understanding and has a sense of balance than anyone that was already in council from before, because all we have is Discord to read. So that's lovely.
There are a few mid-tiers that approach a semblance of balance, but there's not enough discussion that I would know all that well.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't really know how I feel about the whole put tanks on the high ground to clear first. Like, it's so safe. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, but I don't think I like it.
It makes it hard to fight against the tank that's on the high ground. So.
And not only that, but these tanks on the high ground have, like, they kind of have cover from the props. So it's like...
Speaking of high ground, Tesla's still broken.
Well, that's not going to be fixed, so... Honestly, we might want to, like, without them fixing that, maybe a solution would be to just convert Tesla into the unit that exploits elevation differences.
That's so dumb.
I know, but
That's
like,
awful.
there's so many things that I've just like given up on, and have I just settled on, yeah, let's just do the dumb thing because that's probably best for gameplay. It's very depressing. That's...
Is it best for gameplay though, or is it just the easiest solution?
It's the it could be potentially, I'm not saying that would work, but like it could be the best thing for gameplay given available options.
I should enjoy.
What the hell? Okay. I don't... Alright. Well, maybe we'll do this again tomorrow, but I'm hungry. So, thanks for hanging out, guys.
No problem.
We will,
Have fun eating your food.
it's less...
Hopefully, Tesla doesn't get stuck in there.
Okay, that's interesting. Alright. Yeah.
Also, recommendation. I think a Tesla should be a moving unit.
Why?
Because it would be, honestly, a work of art. It would be a masterpiece.
I'm okay with things being moving units because, conceptually speaking, moving units are for offense and stationary units are for defense.
Look, I'll make you a document. I'll give you an entire rundown of stats and everything on how it would be if you want me to.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine and dandy, but it's all dependent on whether or not they're willing to implement it. And
yeah,
to be fair, if it's easy to make, they'll probably do it. That's why they made Stinger, because it's easy. Stinger was literally turret base plus seeker head. So.
Well, I also need the map editor as well to create kind of a concept.
Oh, like an artistic concept?
Yeah, unit concept.
I guess. It's not like literally if they can just Frankenstein units together, they've done that, I think, I don't know, a couple times. Like T45 is like they took T99 model and just like deleted stuff and like resized stuff from what I'm aware of.
Yeah, it's basically T45, yeah.
Yeah, and then like Stinger is the most obvious example because that's the one that I was literally aware of while they were making it, because someone suggested it and James was like, "Oh yeah, that's easy to do because we already have the assets for it." And then they made it. So they do a lot of things
from
because
Wastelands are entirely budged assets like that.
Right, that's probably accurate. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, I wouldn't know because I've played Wastelands once, and like that's it.
The giant brute one, it's literally just a brute with a Bucky as a face and like
great
a T99 on its shoulder or something.
Marvelous. So yeah,
Marvelous.
The likelihood of them making something like that, if it's literally just like a Tesla on a tank chassis or something like that, then probably not that low. I would think that they would be willing to if it's easy to do. Sadly.
Sadly.
Okay, well. All right, yeah, I gotta go eat. So, see you later, guys.
Happy birthday.
All right, bye.
Yeah, birthday.